Hello folks, fellow fans, internet goers. Welcome to Couch Discussion. I am your host, Aj the Snipe, and guests tonight are Matt, aka Matthew Duffman, and Chewbacca7304, aka Cody. So, topics for tonight.
Let's say video game abominations.
Video game abominations. That can work. So who wants to open the floor first?
In a world where we live in these days, people are striving for new creative ideas for video games. When they're not all making first-person shooters, they try to revive old franchises. And it usually ends up falling flat on their face. Two examples I have in prime, and maybe some others later, are the re-envisioning of Bionic Commando and Bomberman Act Zero.
Ugh. I'll be honest, I haven't played either of those games, but I have seen footage of Bomberman Act Zero, and it does look as atrocious as it sounds. Basically, they take the concept of Bomberman, they de-cutify it, make it all grunge looking, and give it the original gameplay of Bomberman, but just making it look, I guess, as some people would like to say,
gory
for the guys.
For Bomberman Act Zero, I seen the cover of it at Walmart, and this is, my first thought was, what the fuck? I never played Bionic Commando for the NES or the remake, so I can't say much on that.
Bionic Commando actually is an arcade classic, was ported over to the NES. The only reason I know I've played the NES version, I also have the Capcom Classics collection for PlayStation 2, and Bionic Commando is pretty cool. Despite the fact you can't jump, that was kind of cool that you didn't have a jump. Instead you had the bionic arm.
It was a platforming game that mainly focused on grappling more so than jumping, and it was something that was executed well. No one ever did something like before, and I'm not sure how many people have done it since, but it was definitely a more difficult game, but with the grappling feature, definitely added a new level of gameplay. As for the new one, it doesn't look very appealing.
I saw, and I'd like to give credit to right now the Game Overthinker, Movie Bob, whatever you know him as, and he did, like, in his first video he talked about the abomination, I guess, of Bionic Commando just on the appearance of it alone. And then he also discussed the control issues with it. Like, the two joysticks on the control, I think they do two different things. One, the D-pad moves the camera, and then all the buttons are just, like, really poorly mapped. So, not only does it have a bad image for it, it's got horrible controls to go along with it. And, you know, I don't understand what was wrong with, you know... And then you had Bionic Commando Rearm come out, and that's what people wanted.
A lot of people are looking back into the games of old, and what they end up doing is making remakes of them. Some of them are actually carbon copy remakes, just glazed over with the 3D aspects. Sometimes it's done well, sometimes it's done poorly.
Okay, what in your opinion would be a good rendition of that?
Good remake?
Good remake.
I thought that a good carbon copy remake, and this is just me, everyone knows that I am a Castlevania junkie, but I thought that Dracula X Chronicles was a decent remake. It was pretty much the same thing that people asked for. Not only that, it also gave the original version a US release for the first time in how many years. The only thing that people complained about was that it didn't come with the crappy SNES version, which I don't know why people wanted it. It wasn't that good.
Nostalgic value.
Nostalgia only should go so far with it, because in the end, you gotta face facts that, like, some games just are better left buried.
Like E.T. for the Atari.
E.T. should not exist.
Buried in the deserts of New Mexico.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
It's in a landfill, and they cemented it over. But if you have a pickaxe and a jackhammer,
and a
you
shovel,
can find 63 million copies of them. They're all yours.
Which makes me kind of wonder, I know we're getting off topic, if the person who designed this game actually went out and watched ET. Or if he just blew his money at the strip club next door.
That is something that is a big discussion.
Save it for another day. Another game that was a complete abomination was Blue Dragon. It had the art of Akira Toriyama. I know some people may not like it, but you know I like the art style. I was a big DBZ fan. It had the music of Nobuo Uematsu. You know, everyone is in Final Fantasy fame. And I can't remember who the writer was. Was it Sakaguchi? I think.
Was he the guy from Final Fantasy?
I think yes.
Wow, that almost sounds like it's almost like a rip-off of Chrono Trigger, because that's almost like the same thing.
Yeah, but
Akira Toriyama did the art design.
I don't think
the music was done by Nobuo Uematsu, I think, and the whole team that did Final Fantasy did that game.
Well, anyways, yes, art good. The battle system, boring. You get these shadow creatures that they get by eating these ball things, and it gives you the power of a shadow that follows you around. I don't know why they called it Blue Dragon. Probably because the main character got a blue dragon. Although, oddly enough, in the anime, all the characters' shadows are colors. But what really gets me is, one, the storyline is bland. Oh, we gotta go save the world again.
Most overused thing: save the world, save the princess.
Of course. Obvious.
Save the cheerleader.
Save the world. A moment of silence for the dearly departed heroes. Okay, moment's over.
Fuck you, NBC. Anyways, and then the thing that gets me, the final boss in any video game is supposed to be one of the hardest, if not the hardest battle of the video game, right?
In most cases, yes.
The first time I went through it, my characters were not max level. Yes, I had, I think, like 2 of the shadow classes maxed out, but I don't think those give the stats. They just give different skills. It's been a while since I played it. But the first time I went to the final boss, he didn't get a single turn in. He did not get a single fucking turn in. That's how easy he was.
So it was kind of like Dracula at the end of Castlevania 2.
Yeah.
Talk about a game that needs a facelift.
Dude, I'll tell you, that game, even though a lot of people bitch about it, that has some raw potential. If that thing got a classic makeover and a complete remake, that could be one of the best Castlevania games.
But the nerd already touched on that. So